Going.
This is a power lock in a Dana 44. Now, that's soaring into the material, that. Can't have been heat treated properly. Flame hardened or induction. Here's a piece of old carrier out of a Hilux. I just heated it up and quenched it in water. See how you can't pour into it? Look. That's a relatively new blade, that. That's how that should be the reaction on a hacksaw blade to that. I've put it on a Rockwell tester because you can see the little dots there. It's soft. I don't want to cut into this, but also these V's aren't deep enough. I'll get that fixture.
We bought these empty cases from America. And they don't make them right.
This piece here, we milled that. That appears to be protruding up. And we can measure how deep that should be by just simply measuring that with a micrometer and measuring the piece.
Okay, this piece here, we got the original case, set the 0 on the machining center up there, and then put that on and machined it. So that's the exact depth of the V out of the original one.
So, you can measure through here what this is. This side here is probably best. Right. It's 355, that. Right. So, what we'll do is hold that by that. This will tell the story.
You want me to hold that?
I think I can actually
I'll just hold
do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's 9, that's a bit more than 9, that's 3/5, that's 4, 9, 14 thou too high. 14 thou, that is, that piece.
I thought you were saying you thought it was only 5
Well, I
thou.
was only guessing, see? Till you... Good 10 to 14 thou high. That's why the shafts are tight in that carrier.
When you put it all together with all the cross shafts and planetary gears and clutches, it all strains together.
It's 10 thou too high. It's on the 15. It was on the 5 when I touched that. It's 10 thou too high. You see, when these carriers come over here, when these carriers are put together, you normally can just push them with your fingers and they'll slide back and forth. At the moment, they're a bit on the tight side. This one. It's moving. You don't know how much that is under, how much that is bending.
Because it's squishing together, it's slightly
That's
bending
right.
the cross shaft.
I'll get some of these cross shafts. I've got a kit in this cupboard. We'll be back in 2 seconds.
You see these cross shafts are in there, and when this all clamps together, it's squishing all these cross shafts. They should be loose in there. Not loose, but you know, it's made so it all bolts together and you can push it back and forth. But these aftermarket cases that we got from America are made wrong. Don't know why all these people that make aftermarket stuff can't make anything correct.
These components, what happens, these are brand new gears.
This is what's inside of it.
That and all that's together, should be able to move those shafts. These diameters of these pinion gears get clamped on those with all the clutches and the one valve washer, preloading constantly the gears, or the clutches rather. That you should be able to do that if that V is at the right depth. What's happening, because the carry's too far down, it's bending, possibly bending. They've got a thrust block, this particular one. It'll be bending these because it's getting supported there, and now it's touching here. Could be bending this whole structure. These bust in half at the best of times, these things. Sharp.
Because they overlap, they break. You'll get a busted one out to show you. See?
That one's been off there. They should have put radius in here and there. That's where they crack along the sharp edge, you see. Well, this is out of a Jaguar, identical to that. These parts. That's another part. Stop it, I'll go on.
One, it's going.
Just want to compare cross shaft makes. This is a genuine American overlapping cross shafts with a thrust block. This is the English one. Because this has got a, they've been this relieved here, but they're unworn, these points there. But there ain't any difference. Okay, they're the same. It's 3/4. This, or about 1 thou under 3/4. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't getting confused there. So to fix all this shit up, this new stuff, I've got to put it up in a machine here on a rotary table. Put a mandrel through there, something bigger than that. Clock it up sideways. Make sure it's running true inside this part here. Get a grinding wheel, grind it to 90 degrees, 45 each side. And grind that, index at 180 degrees, grind it until that measurement is the same, flush through there. Well, the cross shafts have movement. These should move by your fingers. At the moment, they're getting bent. How much, we don't know. It's hard to judge by just tapping it with a, could be getting bent 10 thou. We've got all these problems with this new shit. that's made, but not made exactly the same. Pay good money for new stuff and you're going to start fucking repairing it. Before you put it in a bloke's pit. As soon as I put it in, 6 months later the cross shaft's snapping up, it's all on me. Oh, you pull the diff out, you fix it, I've paid you. Go back to these pricks and they go, oh, you should have let us know. We would have given you another one. We could have checked these and sent you the right one. I want the fucking right one when I the first one. Oh, we put that on a bloody. We put this on a. Bolted this on the machining centre over there, and we touched the tool there. Then we interchanged that and clamped that, protruded that, and milled it. So we know that that should be on the centre line of these carriers, this piece here. But when you got it in this American-made one, it's 10th thou too high. That V needs to be 10th thou deeper. 5 or 10th thou, 5 would be enough, as long as these move. You know, they're not getting bent. That's the main thing. Yeah. So what do? That's the problem. We'll move over to this hot wash where these gears are. That's what we're looking at. Here. So this diameter touches with the other one underneath there. Should be able to, we can't do it, demonstrate it now, but you can only demonstrate that by putting this like that. That's how they assemble. Right. That's how the assembly is. Doesn't matter how tight you tighten that, 2 G clamps wouldn't matter. These have to move. Be able to move with your fingers, because they're not getting, that drives that and ramps up. That's why they're split in half. They ramp up like that. Imagine it, exaggerating it. But said you've got to be able to move these back and forth like this, like that, when it's in the carrier. Doesn't happen. So you're faced with grinding this deeper. Doesn't appear to be hard. Needs to be heated up with an oxy-torch right up that area, quickly chucked in water. And that's how it should come up. I just got another standard carrier and made a little test piece of it. Check it. It could be this bite for the trying.
So yeah, this isn't deep enough. It's also soft. It needs to be harder. So you can see they've got it heat treated, flame hardened it with that marking there, but it hasn't gone hard enough. It's still soft. That's one problem. The second problem is the V's aren't deep enough. So it's putting strain on the cross shafts, which is causing them to bend. So these empty cases are made incorrectly. They have 2 problems. They're soft there where it's meant to be hard, and they're also not deep enough.